Hey, I'm G-Man, and I got Tmoney here again, bringing you energy, February 8th edition of the Fantasy Football Show. It's a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport Podcast Network. Tmoney, you got your DFS players ready for the weekend?
Oh, yeah. I'm ready, man. You know, it's going to be probably just captain mode and everything like that, but I got my cold ready. I got my cold
captain mode. All right. Hey, y'all do us a favor, press the like and subscribe. We know you'll like the results. Hey, if you're interested in being a sponsor or a guest on our fantasy football segment, reach out to us. Let's get to our fantasy picks of the week, starting off with our hot and cold G-Man picks, the ones players he thinks will be hot for your DFS lineups. Tmoney picking the ones who are going to be cold. Watch out. They're going to break your heart, man. Tmoney, 61%. Accuracy on the year on his cold picks, bringing it home. And keep in mind that we shoot the show and do everything on Tuesday, so things could change. All right, let's start off with the quarterback position. G-Man started off with hot, then we'll go to Tmoney's cold. Hey, I'm going for the hot. I'm going with my script. I see Matthew Stafford here as the hot pick. He's going for 16,200. On DraftKings, Joe Burrow's going for 15,900. They're both expensive, okay? I just think Stafford's going to play a great game here. I think he'll be able to handle the pressure that he gets. He can take the pressure. This guy's thrown for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, passer rating of 96 against the 49ers. He was pressured on 38% of his dropbacks. So this guy's handled pressure. If he gets some pressure from the Bengals blitzing, I think he's still going to come through. He's now thrown for 2 or more touchdowns in his last 5 games. So I like, in terms of the quarterbacks here, I like Stafford here to kind of outduel Burrow for the stats.
Okay. And a little insight to how Tmoney's head works here on these cold picks. A lot of times I don't think players are going to do bad, and a lot of times I just think, when you're trying to win a fantasy league, you need guys that are going to go boom, not okay, and not just hitting their regular projected mark, right? You need boom more than you need mediocre, right? Especially in DFS leagues and when you're in gigantic group leagues, right? That you're just trying to, be in the top 10%. Stafford's not going to have a boom game. He might be the safe pick. Right? He might get 2 touchdowns.
Hey, 330 yards and 2 touchdowns, pretty good.
Yeah, he also threw an interception in the red zone. Let's not forget about that. I just think if anyone's going to have 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, that's Joe Burrow. If anyone is more likely, to have 200 yards and 1 touchdown and still win the game, that's Matthew Stafford, right? Joe Burrow's not going to throw for less than 250. He's not going to throw for less than 2 touchdowns. It's just not going to happen. Your floor is already set with this guy. So I just think if you're looking for boom, you want Burrow. So Stafford's got to be my cold pick of the week.
All right. Hey, all you fans out there, we tried to not pick against each other because we want to give you, picks that you can run away with. But hey, man, when it comes down to the Super Bowl, what are we supposed to do? There's only 2 teams. Hey, let's move on to the running back. Let's see what we like on running back. I'm going to go hot running back. I'm looking at the value of these running backs. I just think for the value, and I'm going to take some more expensive players you're going to see here on the wide receiver. So if I'm going expensive on wide receiver, I got to save some money at running back. I'm going Sony Michel here. There's 4 running backs really that you could pick. And I just think Sony is going to be more durable than Cam in this game. He'll probably get more carries. I think he could probably get a touchdown. Or I think Mixon's too expensive. Sony Michel going for $7,500. Joe Mixon's $14,400, double the price of Sony. I just think I want to spend my money on something else there in terms of this and put my bet on Sony getting a touchdown.
Hey, no, that's a solid bet. So, I'll go to my cold quick, kind of bouncing right off you. Mixon is my cold running back. It's just, he's too expensive compared to these other guys. 14,400 in this game. He's not going to be able to run anywhere. What are you going to run up the middle into Aaron Donald, the best defensive player in the NFL? It's not going to happen. And if you're trying to run the edges, you got Leonard Floyd on one side and Von Miller on the other. Like, they're not going to be able to run at all. This game is on the shoulders of cool kid Joe. All right. That guy's got to take this game over. Mixon is not going to be involved. He's not going to have a big game. He might get a screen pass for a touchdown. I'm sorry, guys, if he does, but that's on Burrow more than it is on Mixon. So I'm just saying that look for Mixon to have a pretty cold game here.
Okay. Yeah, that could be the case. I agree with you there. Let's go to wide receiver. There's a lot of wide receivers you can pick here. I just think those Cincinnati receivers are going to spread it around, and not one player is going to scale up and take all the catches. So I'm moving over to the LA side. I think Kupp, as I said in my big bet show, I just think Kupp is going to beat that 100-yard receiving mark. He's averaging 28 fantasy points a game. OBJ is only averaging 10. So Kupp for 17,400. Beckham, OJ going for 12,600. I'm going to take my little extra money that I saved on the running back and put it on Cooper Kupp to give me a good stat line.
No, and that's a solid choice. And I don't mind that choice. Going high on the receivers here because I think it's going to be a high scoring game. But I do think the one receiver not to go in with is Chase. I love Jamar Chase. I think he's going to have a solid game. Don't get me wrong, but he's not going to have a monster game. I don't think he's going to get 100 reception yards. I don't think he's going to get 8 catches. He might get 8 targets, but I bet he catches 4 for like 64, and that's about it. Higgins and Boyd, though, they're going to have big games, and they're only going for 11,400 and 8,100. Those guys are going to be wide open all game. So those two combined are only 3,000 more than Chase. So I would go low on running back, high on Higgins and Boyd, and then maybe grab Kupp as well. That kind of rounds out your roster there. But I think Chase is the cold receiver of the week.
Okay, good advice there. We kind of complimented each other there, man.
Yeah,
we're doing good there. Hey, let's move on to our second game, the take or mistake. Second game of our fantasy show here. And this week's show continue to focus on the 2022 fantasy draft, next year's draft. I'm going to pick some players that are off the playoff teams that are not in the Super Bowl. I'm going to pick a player that had a big year. I'm going to ask Tmoney if they're a take in the draft coming up next year. Tmoney.
Okay, well, hold on real quick before you. I need to get this. Oh, yeah. Oh, geez. Okay, I got my Bengals shirt over here.
Oh,
okay, we're good. Go ahead. What were you saying?
How many wardrobe changes have you had tonight?
I can go shirtless if you want, Gary.
Hey, what did you get a new tattoo? I need to see the new tattoo.
It's a Bengals tattoo.
You're gonna come home Sunday night with a tattoo.
Yeah.
No, looking good. I like your look tonight, man. Hey, Tmoney does not know who I'm gonna pick here on these players, but I'm gonna ask him what he thinks about next year's draft. Starting off with a quarterback, I'm gonna start with Trey Lance. We don't know what the 49ers plan to do for Jimmy G, but Jimmy G most likely will not be with the 49ers next year. He'll be with a different team. That clears the way for Trey Lance. Lance appeared in 3 games as a rookie this past season, where he attempted at least 18 passes, and he scored at least 22 fantasy points in 2 of them. Will he achieve his upside as a top 10 fantasy quarterback with Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, and Brandon Ayuk to throw to? Tmoney. If your fantasy draft was today, is Trey Lance a take as your QB1, or would that be a mistake?
That's a take, man. And I would take him probably top 5.
Whoa!
I think
I didn't expect that.
I think he's right there. I think he's Kyler-esque with, he doesn't turn the ball over. That's what he was known for in college. I think he had 1 total interception his entire college career. He doesn't turn the ball over. He's tremendous with his legs, maybe better than Kyler, because he runs more, and he's got a solid weaponry there. I think he is a top 5 fantasy QB. If Jimmy G's not there, he's going to be all over the place.
Oh my God. That's interesting. Hey, interesting. Okay, let's go to the running back. I'm going to give you the Green Bay running backs. Ooh. Aaron Jones averaged 15 PPR points per game this season, finished as RB14. A.J. Dillon averaged 11 PPR points per game, finished as RB30. But Dillon appeared to have quite, an average season, but had a very strong second half. Tmoney. Which one of these Green Bay running backs will you keep on your team in 2022? If you can only keep one, which one is the take?
I'm taking Aaron Jones. He was hurt the second half of the season. That's why Dillon had a solid second half. And
Yeah.
especially if if Aaron Rodgers is there, he's going to be great. But if he's not there, the offense is done and it basically runs through Aaron Jones, literally and figuratively. So I think that Aaron Jones might even have his best season yet if Aaron Rodgers is not there.
Aaron Jones is the better pass catcher
He's-
too for PPR, so that could help.
Yeah, and he's
we'll
under
see.
contract. He's under a big contract. Dylan's still on his rookie deal. They got to play the running back that's on the big contract right now. So it's going to be Jones all the way.
So Tmoney does not see the switch happening yet. Let's go to our wide receiver on make or take here. Or sorry, take or mistake. Let's go to wide receiver. Let's talk about CD Lamb from Dallas. The Cowboys appear to forget about CD Lamb down the stretch. He had 5 targets or less in his final 4 games in a row, including the playoffs. He also failed to score a touchdown after week 10. In the playoff loss against the 49ers, CD finished with 1 catch for 21 yards on 5 targets and is now projected round 3 in fantasy leagues. Can CD Lamb still show us the breakout potential entering his 3rd year in the NFL? Team Money. Is CD Lamb a take as your wide receiver 1 in next year's NFL fantasy draft, or would that be a mistake?
Oh man, that is a very, very good question. He is right on that border. But if I have to choose one or the other, I'm going to go mistake. I like CD Lamb a lot. I think he has wide receiver 1 potential for sure. But first off, that receiving core is crowded, right? Secondly, Dak Prescott, who knows which Dak Prescott's going to show up this year? And third, Mike McCarthy's the Cowboys head football coach, and he's just horrible. So, do I trust the Cowboys to be good at football? No. So I love CD Lamb. I think he's probably wide receiver 15, which means he's right on that cusp of wide receiver 1. But to take him as my wide, unless I went running back, and the receivers are all gone, I'd be happy with him. But that would be tough with Amari Cooper on the other side, and the rest of those receivers. Tough wide receiver 1.
Okay, great answers there. Tmoney showing some insight there. Hey, we hope you're loving the Fantasy Football Show. It's a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport Podcast Network. You can look for our shows and our segments wherever you look at your podcasts. Look for us at Father, Son, and Holy Sport, or check out our new website where you can find all of our show info, even buy merch. It's Father, Son, and Holy Sport.com. On behalf of Tmoney, I'm G-Man. We'll see you next time.
All right. We'll see you later. Happy birthday, G-Man, and go Bengals.